The Overlook's dual nature, how the Ahwahnee Hotel, Native American genocide and half-savage Europeans inform The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is a film so packed with symbolism and subtext that you could get lost in its depths faster than Jack Torrance in a hedge maze. One of its most potent and overlooked pun-intended elements is its visual homage to the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park. The Ahwahnee, with its lavish interior design inspired by Native American motifs, serves as a thematic bridge between The Shining's tale of madness and the brutal history of European conquest, particularly the genocide of Indigenous peoples. Kubrick's Overlook Hotel is not just a haunted building, it's a microcosm of American history, with its dual nature reflecting the European settler's identity, part civilized conqueror, part barbaric destroyer. Let's unpack how the Ahwahnee Hotel's history and design inform the Overlook's themes of usurpation, guilt, and the thin veneer of civilization over savagery. The Ahwahnee Hotel, a civilized shrine to appropriation. The Ahwahnee Hotel, completed in 1927, was designed as a luxurious retreat that celebrated Native American art and culture, while also ignoring the fact that it was built on the stolen land of the Ahwahnee people. Its architecture and decor, steeped in indigenous motifs, are equal parts homage and theft. A classic example of European settlers cherry-picking the aesthetics of the cultures they annihilated. Aesthetic appropriation, the Ahwahnee's geometric patterns, basketry-inspired designs, and native-themed names, like the Great Lounge, give it the air of a cultural shrine. But beneath the surface, it's a monument to the very conquest that erased the people it pretends to honor. The civilized facade, like the Overlook, the Ahwahnee wears its grandeur like a mask, hiding the brutal truths of its origins. Its luxury caters to wealthy, mostly white visitors, perpetuating a sanitized version of history that conveniently omits the genocide that made such civilized leisure possible. The Overlook as a haunted manifest destiny. In The Shining, the Overlook Hotel takes the Ahwahnee's contradictions and cranks them up to 11. It's a place that revels in its Native American-inspired decor while being unapologetically complicit in the history of conquest. Native American motifs. As decoration, the Overlook is adorned with indigenous patterns, much like the Ahwahnee, but these motifs serve no deeper purpose beyond aesthetic appeal. They're a backdrop for the hotel's true story, the white man's hunger for power and control. The hotel, built on native land, Kubrick makes it clear that the Overlook is literally built atop a Native American burial ground, a direct nod to the violent usurpation of land by European settlers. The hotel isn't just haunted by its own history, it's haunted by America's collective guilt. The dual nature of the European settler, half savage, half civilized, the Overlook's dual identity as a luxury retreat and a site of unspeakable horror, mirrors the dual nature of the European settler. On one hand, they brought art, architecture, and governance. On the other, they unleashed unspeakable violence on the land's original inhabitants. Jack Torrance. As the European archetype, Jack embodies this duality. He arrives at the Overlook as a writer, a symbol of high culture, but devolves into a violent, axe-wielding savage. His descent mirrors the trajectory of European settlers who cloaked their brutality in the guise of civilization. The thin veneer of culture, the Overlook's opulent ballrooms and chandeliers, are a facade, much like the colonial settlers' claims of bringing order to the Americas. Beneath the surface lies bloodshed, greed, and the endless thrum of ghostly typewriters churning out all work and no play. The hotel as a microcosm of American history. The Overlook isn't just a haunted building, it's an allegory for the entire American project. Its grandeur and violence are two sides of the same coin. reflecting how the conquest of the Americas created a civilization haunted by its own atrocities. Ghosts of Conquest, the hotel's ghosts, from the Grady twins to Lloyd the bartender, represent the bloody history of manifest destiny. They aren't just lingering spirits, they're reminders of the human cost of empire building. The Eternal Party, the ballroom scene, with its endless 1920s soirée, symbolizes America's obsession with glossing over its brutal past. The party never stops because acknowledging the truth would shatter the illusion of grandeur, the madness of manifest destiny. Jack's descent into madness parallels the collective insanity of manifest destiny, the idea that Europeans had a divine right to conquer and settle the Americas. Just as Jack convinces himself that he's destined for greatness, the settlers justified their actions with lofty ideals, all while committing unspeakable acts. The madness of entitlement, Jack's belief that the Overlook belongs to him, reflects the settler mindset, a sense of ownership over land and resources that were never theirs to begin with. The cycle of violence, Jack's rampage mirrors the cyclical nature of colonial violence, with each new wave of conquest building upon the bloodshed of the past. The Overlook, like America itself, is an eternal crime scene. Kubrick's dark humour, civilization is a joke. Kubrick's use of the Ahwahnee Hotel as inspiration for the Overlook is a sly commentary on the absurdity of civilization. By turning a luxury hotel into a site of horror, he exposes the hypocrisy of a society that builds monuments to its own greatness while ignoring the blood-soaked foundations. A lavish house of horrors, the Overlook's elegance makes its horrors even more grotesque. It's as if Kubrick is saying, sure, you've got chandeliers and gold elevators, but don't forget the genocide. The joke's on Jack. Jack's belief in his own greatness, his civilized aspiration to write the next great American novel, is the punchline of Kubrick's dark joke. Civilization, Kubrick seems to suggest, is just savagery with better lighting. Conclusion, the Overlook, the Ahwahnee, and America's haunted past. By drawing on the history and design of the Ahwahnee Hotel, Stanley Kubrick turns the Overlook into a chilling metaphor for American history. Its Native American-inspired decor and burial ground origins highlight the contradictions of a society built on both beauty and brutality. The Overlook, like the Ahwahnee, is a shrine to the European settlers' dual nature, part architect, part axe murderer. In The Shining, Kubrick doesn't just tell a ghost story, he tells the story of a nation haunted by its own past. So, the next time you check into a luxury hotel with Native American-themed carpets, remember, beneath the chandeliers and room service lies a history of conquest, madness, and maybe, just maybe, a ghost bartender ready to serve you a Manhattan. Cheers!